You gonna play again this preseason?
Yeah, we'll see. Like Coach always says, he makes us prepare for literally everything, and then he'll tell us like literally right beforehand. Honestly, we find more stuff out after he talks to you guys. So, y'all ask him for me.
Do you see anything that at this point would hold Antonio Brown back from practicing full?
I do not. He did everything with us just now, and the man's recall is unbelievable. He came in and no mental errors. In this offense, that's not easy to do, especially, whenever you have a day off, even just as a player, you come back and you're like, you got to stay on Coach Gruden's offense all the time, and you could tell Antonio's been studying because he came out and didn't miss a beat.
Was he out there in 11 on 11 and 7 on 7 and or was he?
Yeah, whatever we did today, he was a part of it, a part of everything that we did today.
How was that for you to feel like you have this big piece, finally on the field?
Yeah, I can get to all my checks and do all that kind of stuff like I'll do during the season. And then I have, the big, Tyrell and Waller and, our running backs and Antonio. They're all one-on-one. What do you do? Who do you go to? And that's the mental game we're going to have to play. Me and Coach Gruden and talking about that beforehand. But it's nice to have him, and I can play it like a real game. And where I'd go and what I'd do.
What did you see, Derek, in that first series out of Josh as your running back?
Really good, right? I thought his vision. I've been able to hand the ball off to some pretty good running backs. I've played with some fun ones, MJD, D-Mac, Latavius, Marshawn, Doug. I've been able to, and that's, just the guys that carried the most of the footballs. We've played with a lot of good backs, and watching his vision was really impressive because I got the best seat in the house. I'm sitting back there playing Madden, telling him to cut back and trying to run for him, right? And he's right up there with those guys, and for him to do that, especially in his first game, I think the thing that rubbed off on me the most about Josh was his want to. Like, it wasn't like, oh man, this is my first game, or none of that. Like, he was out there just trying to bully people. He was out there trying to run hard. He didn't care that he's a rookie. He's trying to prove that he's the best back in the NFL. That's his mindset, and really, really impressed. Obviously the runs and all that, offensive line did a great job, but more so impressed with his demeanor and his mentality.
What does he bring in the passing game? People talk a lot about him out of the backfield. What does that give to the offense, and how advanced is he in that for a rookie?
Yeah, he's very, very advanced, and I think everyone knows, you got to be really good in the passing game to play in Coach Gruden's offense as a running back. A lot of our, quick game, the old West Coast, Joe Montana, Roger Craig kind of plays, all that kind of stuff, and he's got to be able to do that, and he can. I think that coming in, we knew how good of a runner he was. We knew he's tough. We knew he could block. You just never know with rookie running backs that are that big. How flexible are they? Can they run the routes? Can they catch? And he's been really impressive, man. I'll let his game speak for it, but for me, I've been impressed by him.
As you have him coming out of the backfield, you get Waller, who you guys like a lot, the receivers. In terms of the depth of options you guys have in the passing game, what does that do for the offense? We have so many places to go.
Yes, we can be very diverse. We can play 22 football, with two backs, two tight ends, or we can go out there with a whole bunch of receivers and Waller, and play that kind of way. We can run the triple option if we want to. We got all the pieces to be able to do whatever coach can think of, and trust me, he thinks of everything. And I think you guys know him. Some of you have been around him longer than I have, and have known him from the first time. He's going to want weapons at every position, and he wants to be deep on offense. And I think the cool thing we saw in the preseason game is we only played one series, but the points kept going up when those other guys went in. I mean, you see a guy like Rico, you see, Doss, Hunter, Sale, Keon, all these guys making these plays. And, that's just how he likes it. He wants depth everywhere so that the defense has a lot to prepare for.
People are getting kind of getting a glimpse, a national glimpse of how Gruden interacts with his quarterbacks based on the last couple of shows.
Yes.
He's not saying a lot to you in these shows, but the other two guys, is it fun for you to kind of look at how those guys are getting treated their first year with Gruden and how exactly how they react to it?
Absolutely, and the thing about him is what people don't get to see enough of maybe is he treats us like we're his kids, man. Like he loves us dearly. Like that guy, just when he's getting on us, it's because he wants us to be perfect, and that's just how he is. So it's fun to watch the show, and I tell those guys like, hey man, I told him beforehand, I mean, he's aggressive. He's going to be like that, and it's all because he wants you to be the best. It has nothing to do with him coming at you or him thinking some type of way about you. It's only because he wants you to be the best version of yourself. So I get to sit back and watch it. Obviously, year 2 in the offense, less mistakes. I'm not getting yelled at as much, so it's kind of more fun for me. But you know, it's definitely you know, funny to me to sit back and watch it on TV. And then him to say, you know, he says he needs to stop cussing and all those kind of things. I said, good luck, man. You know, I wish you the best.
That interaction you're talking about, where John, it's like almost like tough love, where you know he loves you, but he's really blunt at the same time.
Yeah.
Was that hard for you at the very first? Did it take a little getting used to?
To be completely honest, we were both growing in the offense. I mean, we had very minimal moments like that. You know, I can think of maybe 1 or 2 just off the top of my head, right, where, you know, it's like, hey, that's just unacceptable. And it's, I mean, you know how much he cares about you. You know where his heart is. He's just, yes, sir. Like, you know, he's just trying to make you better. And so we never had a problem. You know, I've had some head coaches, I won't throw their names out there. I've had some certain coaches in my life, especially in college, that were the same way. So I've been used to that for sure.
2 more, guys.
Random, Derek, but have you worn the same helmet since you got in the league?
I have not. No, I have not. I had to switch mine because they were going to stop making mine. And so, I mean, they're not going to keep making it. And I was like, man, I don't want to have to deal with that, you know, in the future, trying to find one and things like that, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So I just ended up switching mine. And for me, mine too is like, quarterback's just so different. Like, you know, if we don't get to run and hit anybody. Anytime we get hit, it's basically by someone we don't see, you know, hitting our head and things like that. So, you know, the vision is all the same to me in my helmets. I could see how some receivers, or, you know, how AB, you know, the vision and stuff, it could be different. Absolutely, it sits different. But for mine, it was just more so about, you know, I'll just change it so I don't have to deal with it again, you know.
What's been your vantage point of the battle at receiver, the last few spots up for grabs? What do you see from those guys?
Yeah, it's really close, you know. You know, usually around this time, right when we're about to break camp, you're like, oh, you can start doing the numbers game. You know, like we're all trying to do it, figure it out, pencil it in, and you can start writing numbers down, and you're like, dang, I got 10 numbers down. You know, like gosh, dang, I guess we can't keep 10 of those. But you know, you sit there and again, I've said this. I think I might have said it after the game. It's like when we go to cut day, we're gonna be cutting good football players, and that shows you how deep our team is. You know, so. I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions, but you know, those guys we cut, I'm not worried about them. They're going to get picked up and be off to the races. But I just don't know who it's going to be right now. I don't know what way they want to go, the coaches and Mr. Mayock and things like that. But just sitting there looking at it, they can all play. So whoever we keep, I know that they're going to be ready to go.
Last one, Matt.
John said that Ryan Grant is a guy who it's hard to get like 2 words out of. He's just very quiet. What sort of impressions have you formed of him, both personality-wise and on the field?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I've known RG. We played on the same Senior Bowl team together, and so I flew out to New Orleans when he was at Tulane with Coach Dub and Jalen Saunders, who was my receiver at Fresno, then went to Oklahoma. We were all on the same Senior Bowl team, so we were working out together. And the very first time I met him, he, oh, hey, how's it going? You know, like very quiet, doesn't say much, but then you watch that man play football, and he's talking trash, and he's talking to DBs, but as soon as he gets back in the huddle, doesn't say a word, you know. Very nice, very polite guy, but extremely good football player, extremely smart, and I think he's healthy for the first time in a while. You know, I think that's a plus for him. We saw him make some great catches in the Rams practices, and in the game, that ball he caught and kept his feet in. I think we're starting to see, you know, him come out of his shell a little bit on the football field. Maybe not so much talking to him, but that's all right. Coop didn't talk much either, and we get along great, so we'll be all right.